We're seeing a youth leader that doesn't have grey hairs. This is unique in our politics. Usually we have youth leaders with grey hairs. I know that even though you don't have any hair, even if your hair is allowed to grow, we will not see grey. So I'm grateful, first of all, to that, and of course, congratulate you on the position. Now, the task ahead of you is not an enviable one. You have a lot of work ahead of you. Blossom asked a question which I think was quite pronounced, and she said, in the position you are, you will find yourself as the youngest person in the room, and more often than not, your opinions may not be taken in the kind of value they should be, simply because you're qualified as a youth. What you need from this house, what you need from the country at large, PDP supporters and those people considering politics, is our support. You need our goodwill, you need our good wishes. And I'm sure that this house will give it to you. What is very important is that we accept that in the position you are, I'm glad the way this meeting started, you defined the difference between an activist and a politician. And you said very articulately that an activist will be pursuing a certain cause. So somebody who is a youth activist, for instance, will be talking about an agenda for the youth, an agenda for the youth. But as you go into the politics, you'll be talking now about protecting an interest. You'll be talking about protecting the PDP's interest. And going into an election year, you'll be talking about protecting a PDP victory. Now, you will find that there will be some contradictions that you have to deal with. For instance, the youth of Nigeria, whether we like it or not, as politicians, we must accept that they are disappointed with the politics. And what they're looking for is a politics that can attract them. Now, in listening to you today, the only thing that gave me a little bit of concern is that we don't seem to have defined targets for youth. Defined targets for youth involvement. Now, you said it here that you can't say everything you're doing. But I want to pray that you recognize that there is a demand, there is an urgent requirement from the youths that politics starts to speak for them. It's not doing so now. And even as you paint the political picture and say that we have over 30% participation of youth in politics, depending on how we want to define it, the truth of the matter is that the youth of Nigeria don't feel that way. So there's a disconnect. And since you are our person in politics, that is something that they've done fairly well. I don't think that the women will disagree with me when I say that the women in politics, at least at the federal level, under the watch of President Goodluck Jonathan, the women in politics have done very well. Don't be so? We have the women ministers in the Federal Executive Council and so on and so forth. Now, it is possibly because they have a woman who is a very strong advocate in the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. She's strongly advocating for women. What we want to see is a strong advocate for youth. And while you are not in the villa and you are not the wife of the president, so you do not have the kind of powers that she has, what you have is you have youths behind you. You have youths behind you. There's nothing you want to achieve as a youth leader in this party called PDP in Nigeria that you cannot achieve. But talk to us. Let the youths organize behind you. Set those targets and achieve them for the prosperity of Nigeria and the youth of Nigeria.